Hi YouTube, it's Astoria. Welcome back to Vlog Unscripted. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I was watching TED Talks and I got the chance to hear Amy Cuddy, a psychologist, talk about body language, body image, how we see ourselves. Now, she showed us images during her talk, and for example, there was an image of Usain Bolt, the runner, when he won, and it showed him with his arms outstretched. And she and her colleagues had done research, and they found that even those that were blind and not sighted ever, never was able to see, when they were in situations where they were successful or they felt that they had won, they did the same gesture, putting their hands out. And she was talking about people that feel either depressed or repressed or um, disempowered, how sometimes they will kind of cradle themselves or try to just make themselves smaller as they talk. And she did a study with people that were interviewing and how some people were confident in their pose and hands on their hips, and how some people just kind of shrunk into their seats, and the ones that were more confident were the ones that were hired or seemed to be the most hireable candidates. So I thought that that was interesting. Um, the three main points she made was that our bodies change our minds. So the way we hold ourselves, she teaches an MBA class, and she was saying that how oftentimes the men will come in and they'll stand and their hands on their hip and they take up a lot of space in the room, or they're in the center or they're in the front, and they just display a lot of confidence. And in her course, the people that are more participatory are the ones that get the higher grade. If you don't participate, you don't do well. And she was just saying how the disparity with gender, it plays into that, and how some women, although intelligent, just as capable, got into the program the same way, don't hold themselves, their bodies, their postures in that same confident stance. And how she said something very elementary that I've heard my mother say, my grandmother say, my closest friends say, I've heard bishops and pastors say, I've heard different people that are in high esteem say that you fake it till you make it. And she said, and take it one step further, fake it until you become it, which I believe was so powerful for me, and I just really enjoyed it. So she said, our bodies change our minds. So the way that we hold ourselves, the way that we posture ourselves impacts our mindset, impacts our intention, and dare I say our expectation. And then our minds change our behavior. So that expectation, that intention, that mind changes the way we act. And then the way we act changes our outcomes. And that puts me in the mindset of the three principles. And I feel so lucky to have been introduced to them many, many years ago, 18 years ago, first through Helen Neal Ali, and the Chipmans were wonderful mentors for me in the three principles. And I've learned so much from so many great people. I don't want to name them all. It's probably, they probably enjoy their privacy. But I just had to say thank you. And so when I learned about the three principles, one very simple thing that really struck me was the thought wheel. So they said you have a thought. So let's say I think I'm going to try to fake it till I make it, right? Let's just say that's our thought. So when I stand, I'm going to stand with confidence and with meaning, knowing that whatever it is that I set my mind on, it's already there. I'm just waiting for it to manifest, right? So I have that thought. What feeling does that give me? That builds my confidence. It builds my self-esteem. And through that feeling, how do I act? So I might be a bit more assertive. I might be a bit more excited because I know that whatever it is that I set my mind on, it's coming to me. And then the outcome is good outcomes, nothing but good. Either I learn, I grow, I experience life differently, I change perspective in a positive way. Just wonderful, wonderful things come out of that. So our body language shapes who we are. And she was talking about those that feel powerless. And she said, share the science. And that is why I'm here to share it with you. Because she said, Amy Cuddy said, share the science. And she talked about people that have no access to technology and those that don't have access to information like this. And I want to really speak to teen moms and young parents and young mothers and young parents in general, and just saying that sometimes we go through trying times. But I urge you to pay less attention to what's going on outside you and more attention to what's going on inside. For myself, my confidence, my self-esteem, my happiness. I choose not to base that on what I see going on around me. I choose to base it on what I know for a fact. I know that I am like where I came from. Where I came from is the source of everything, the source of the universe, the maker of all things. So I know that I come from intelligence. I know I come from insight, intellect. I know I come from beauty and love and kindness. So I know that I'm all these things. And when I think about it, if I am all those things, then I'm already enough. I'm already enough. I'm a done deal. I'm not waiting on anything. I'm just living. I'm just enjoying. I'm just moving into the things that I like to do. I'm doing more of this. I'm doing more of that, the things that I enjoy. And I'm just eating up those moments. I'm eating up the time that I'm spending with my children, just loving it. I was stuck in traffic today for 3 hours. It was normally a 1 hour trip, and it took 3 hours. So I'm stuck in the car for 3 hours, and my tank's on E because I don't like to stop at the gas station, but I sure did as soon as I got off. And the children, they're great at first, and then they start complaining, and I'm like, here, eat an apple. Here's a book and a pencil, write a story. You pull out some books and read a book, and but I'm sitting in this traffic, and I look back in my rearview mirror, and I don't have a phone. Well, I have a phone still, but here it is. I'm kind of refusing to get it activated because, well, I'm concerned about rate plans and all of that, but that's another story. So I look back in the rearview mirror at my children, and I'm seeing the little hands. They're playing with a bottle of water, and one is splashing the other, and they're wetting the seats, and I'm just enjoying that moment with them. And I thought, wow, this is beautiful, and I was more concerned that I had to tinkle, and so I wanted to get off the highway and get to the restroom. But after I was okay. I was okay during it. I wasn't upset. I was concerned. I thought, there's a bad crash. They closed all the lanes. Someone must be injured. It's just an awful thing. I'm glad that I'm not in the accident. I'm glad that I'm waiting and not involved in an accident. The car is on E, but there's a gas station coming up, so I will fill up when I get there, and I did. But just feeling all right and feeling okay. And even in stressful times, not letting the stress get to you. So what I'm trying to say is we are more than our situation. And when we turn our mind inward to who we are and not concern ourselves so much with what's going on outside, we do ourselves a favor, and we're changing our minds for the better, turning our perspective inward, changing our behavior, because our behavior comes from a change of our mind. So that's really good stuff. I was thinking about how I stopped associating myself with what I did years ago. I realized that we are so much more than our initials. And I love education. I believe in education. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's too overpriced, but that's just my personal opinion, and I'm entitled to it. So I believe in education. I believe in titles. I believe in respecting those that are in authority. I believe in working hard to get where you are. But I also believe that it's important to see ourselves as people and to see the people around us, the people that serve us, the people that help us to be who we are in the workplace and in life, to see them as people. So disassociating ourselves from our titles, from the corner office, from the expense account. Those things are like nice little luxuries to have, but they're not necessary. And they definitely don't create happiness. Happiness is an inside job. So when I started to do that, I started to relax and get less attached to the outcomes and more attached to being in the moment and being on purpose and helping those that needed help and helping myself and being kind to myself. So I'm just saying that a part of changing our mind is realizing who we are and who we are not. That's very important. So going back to Miss Amy Cuddy, and she said our bodies change our minds, so our postures change the way that we think or we behave. So when we go out into the world, try this. Try relaxing. Try seeing yourself as always powerful. I see myself as powerful. And when I mean that, I mean powerful with the reins of responsibility. So powerful in that I know who I am. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm confident, but I am kind. It's important for me to be kind. It's important for me to be myself. And it's important for me to make mistakes and grow from them. So I've taken up 10 minutes of your time. I think that's enough for today. Thank you so much for being with me. You be blessed. Remember, fake it till you make it. And better yet, fake it until you become it. You're worthy. You're worth it. You're beautiful. Mwah! Have a great week. Be blessed.